everyone, welcome to Positive Impact. My name is Joy Elewo. Positive Impact is a program where we talk about social issues that affects the society and the family. We have professionals coming to share their perspectives on burning issues and the preferred solution. Today we have a very special guest. He is a governorship candidate. We get to see him when we come back. Don't go away. Stay tuned. Maybach music.
Can anybody out there hear me? Hear me?
Welcome back. This is Positive Impact. My name is Joy Elewo, and I have a special guest. He is a governorship candidate. He is Honorable Emiyerei Etete Sobere. He is the PRP governorship candidate for Rivers State. He is a CEO, a leader, a mentor, an entrepreneur, a philanthropist, and much more. We're going to get to hear more about him as we listen. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we're really happy to have you on the show, and we'd like to ask, first of all, tell us a little bit about PRP. You know, most people out there would like to know the party, the political party PRP.
Okay. So People's Redemption Party is actually the oldest party in the country.
Okay.
Started from NCNC way back. In fact, if you trace it back, this was the political party that we used in gaining our freedom, our independence, that's what it meant. So before the likes of NRC and way back, it's been there, even though it's kind of evolved into PRP, it was founded by Ahmadu Bello, and for me, he's got about the best constitution ever. I've gone through most of the party, for those parties that's actually got party constitution, but their beliefs, their constitution is so on point. That's the only party that I've seen through federalism as part of their ideal goals, so.
Oh, okay. So tell us, so when did you start? When did you join this political party? Because you say it's been there.
Yeah.
So when did you join the political party?
I did last year. I've heard a lot about them, but I've never had a reason or a chance. I was studying about them in the back garden. I like the fact that their logo is the key, the gold key, and so that was what caught my attention in the first place. But yeah, I came on board last year when I decided to run for an office.
Okay. So with over 10 governorship candidates in the race, what do you think makes you the best candidate?
That's a very good one. I don't mean to, I'm not going to talk about them individually, but most of the candidates that are stepping up have been tried, tested, and then we're still doing the same thing, expecting a different result. That does not make any sense to me in the first place. The others that have not been tried and tested, they've been around and then they're coming back, and then it's like every 4 years, it's something that we're seeing every 4 years. And that tells me, well, it's either they're really trying to get what they want or it's business as usual. But I think what Rivers people need now is compassion, a leader that has compassion, that really, really cares about the people. And that is something I think I have an edge over. That's one part of it. Secondly, I'm a caregiver. I was born and raised in the state. I've been opportune to move around, different countries and all that. And one thing I've come to realize is that, leadership is not really the problem. I think if we get all the candidates and ask them what is the real problem, I've heard people say insecurity, I've heard people talk about, it's this and that, but that's not really what the problem is.
What exactly is the problem?
That's my secret. That's what makes me special.
Oh my goodness. So you're not going to tell us that here?
Well, I think I've mentioned it a couple of times. Really, the problem is the system.
Okay.
It's nothing. It's not insecurity. It's not agriculture. It's not leadership. It's the system.
But the people are the system.
The people are the system, and that system needs to be broken down. The people are part of the system. The policies that are made is what the system is.
So what new? What is it that you're bringing in that is new?
So this system needs to go. This system is set up for failure. We cannot do anything with this system. For example, we have an opportunity now to run because of the new electoral law. If that thing come up, most of us will be here. So these are people trying to create new systems or try to reshape the system for to accommodate people, more diversity, more inclusiveness, But when it comes to this particular state, there's a lot that needs to be changed. There's a lot. For example, which is my favorite, decentralized power back to the LGs.
That's part of the new election.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it's not part of it's part of this system.
Okay,
You're asking me what I'm bringing
okay.
in, And it's what most people hate me for, but yes, I think for us to fix this, first of all, we need to decentralize power. The government has way too much power. And that is what is affecting most things like the elections, it's affecting a lot of things, in fact, development, all that. Because now if you don't do it, then, you don't get, it doesn't have to be like that.
So if Rivers people decide and vote you in as governor come next election, what are the first 3 things you are going to pursue as a governor? The first 3 things you would like to do?
The very first one is decentralized power.
Okay.
Second one is going to be social welfare. The third one is going to be security.
Okay.
These are the first 3 things. I would have liked to throw in agriculture, which is my favorite, somewhere in there, but yeah, I think I can put that under social welfare. But why I'm mentioning social welfare is because that is the bedrock of the society. That is something we are missing a lot. Most people ask what social welfare is, Growing up when we were, back in the days, they say it takes a village to raise the kid. And we grew up with culture. Culture gave us identity, because we're, our pattern, the system at which we're being raised. And now all that is gone. But social welfare gives you an opportunity that the government can become part of your home. So instead of waiting for these kids to grow out of these things, what we do is we begin to fix it in the homes. Why or how? We talked about the boy child, we talked about the girl child, we talked about the education, where families cannot afford education for their kids, the government steps in. You cannot pay drugs for your parents, the government steps in. For businesses, the government steps in. We were brainstorming the other day and I was talking about reducing mortality rates and increasing population, which is something that nobody's looking into. Yes, we still have a lot of land. We still need to have more babies, we say it like that. But we still need to increase population because the one thing we're not tapping into as Africans, not just as Riverians, is human resources. Other countries are striving on this thing. I'm talking about the likes of China, Germany. In fact, every now and then Europe opens their borders for people to come in because they understand the importance of human resources. And that's something we're not using here. And that's something I'm going to bring in.
Yeah, you mentioned you were brought up in the States.
Yeah.
United States?
Well, I was here and then yes, I was opportune to be there.
Okay, so you
US,
talk about
yes.
social welfare. You're going to, the social welfare you're going to bring in here, is it going to be the same as in the United States or something
Better.
different? Okay, something
Better.
Okay.
Way better.
So what are you going to add to it that will make it better? That's
Okay,
they
good.
are not
So,
doing it.
so because theirs is based on, a form of economic profit margin, okay? We are Africans, there's how you can mix this thing up. For example, if you look at the US system, it has a lot to do with, they have the social welfare, but the return is almost immediate, okay? We can stretch it out a little bit to give people a break. We have resources that the US do not have, which can actually give us a form of, there's a word I'm looking for, a form of soft cushion. That way it doesn't affect families directly. In fact, there are most things that we can actually do for completely free under humanity that they cannot. When I'm talking about population-wise, I'm talking about economy, I'm talking about even our culture can permit for all those that they may not have. So I think what the importance or the advantage that we have is they have done it, they have built their system, it's been solidified. We haven't done it, so we can look at all the mistakes and all the disadvantages of what their system is and implement it without those mistakes now and look for better ways to add our own culture in it to make it work for us.
Okay, that's wonderful. So tell us about your manifesto. What are the things in your manifesto that would make Rivers people choose you ahead of others?
Oh, good. I call mine She Stars.
She stars?
She Stars.
She as in S-H?
She as in women, yeah.
Stars, okay.
I know women have been marginalized a lot, so I do it in honor of women, She Stars. The S for social welfare, which is part of the things we've been talking about, we have healthcare, we have the 3 E's, which is education, we have entrepreneurship and employment. You know, those are the 3 E's under that one. These things are things people already know. Even mine is going to be a lot different. Like if I want to talk about healthcare, I'm talking about bringing in technology now. I'm talking about medtechs now, not just medcare. You know, education, the same thing. Those 3 at least we already know. No need to break things down.
Yeah.
Now the other stars, we know we have sports, which is something we're lacking. I see. I mean no disrespect to people that are doing this, but I see. I go to the villages. I've been to Calabari, I've been to Okrikas, I've been to the Andonis, and I see these children go swimming and they enter this water, they don't come back out. And then at the end of the day, we go for Olympics and I'm saying, for example, Usman, and their area, no, they yes, he can swim, but this is not what you do, you know. And so what I'm saying is, we can catch them young, we can find this talent, bring them up, and represent the state. You know, there's a lot. No, sports is like the next level. You know, we all watch the Premier Leagues, we all watch all the, so it works for them. So sports is something, not just football, I'm talking about all sports. Besides, it's something that brings about healthy living in the state. So I'll encourage youth to get on board, the elders, everybody. You know, it's something that we can do for fun. And like I said in the beginning, increase mortality rate, that is one of my A games, you know. So the exercise is good for us, you know.
Let's look at the health sector. What exactly are you going to bring on board?
Oh, okay. I think I said this on radio about 2 weeks ago, or last week. Specialist hospitals, let's start with that one. You know, specialist hospitals are supposed to be there. They're supposed to be based on referral. They're supposed to be subsidized by the government, if not even free. Because how this is, and in most countries, this is how it works. You have a problem, you have an issue. You go to your GP, and then they look at it. It's something that, yes, okay. And then it's not something they can handle. They refer you to a different hospital, and then it just keeps going. Now, when it's something that is out of your reach, that's when they take you to a specialist hospital. That's when the government steps in. It's not something that happens now. And it's easy to actually implement. You know, there's something I see with most politicians. They tell you, oh, this is what my mandate is. This is what it's going to give you. Nobody's talking about implementation. You know, but these things can be implemented easy. Everything on my manifest. You're now referred to the specialist hospital. At this point, the government comes in. When I was preparing for this, the first thing I did under healthcare was find out what are the things that increases mortality rate when it comes to reverse people. Most of our grandmothers, if I ask everybody in this room, you find out that it's either arthritis, high blood sugar, which is diabetes, or BP, or it's usually among those 3 things. Why haven't we sat down to carry out the proper research on how to manage this thing? Those are part of the things we're talking about. We understand, we first of all look for the problems we have in the health sector. We have a research team, monitor those things. We have the best research, best doctors in the state, in the country. You research these things, you find out solutions for them, and then implement those solutions. But for how our grandfathers died of the same diseases that our fathers are dying today, and we've been through almost, 25 years of this proper democracy, and we still don't have an answer. It doesn't make any sense.
We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back. When we come back, we'll talk about infrastructure and agriculture. Don't go away.
Maybach music. Can anybody out there hear me? Hear me?
Welcome back. This is Positive Impact. My name remains Joy Elumo, and I'm speaking with PRP governorship candidate. He is Honorable Emiyerei Etete Sobere. Welcome back. So let's look at infrastructure. Your plans for the people in the infrastructures, in the area of infrastructure, agriculture, and you mentioned tourism.
Yes.
So what plans do you have for us?
Okay, so let's stick with it. Let's start with infrastructure first. You know, the current government have done well. Let's be honest. Forget all the shenanigans going around. He's done well. He's given Rivers State a face, even though it's specific to a certain area. But at least that's still good. We'll take it. But there's still a lot that needs to be done. I think the first thing we need to do is, instead of building, we begin to refurbish the previous things. And that's something we're missing in our government. Every government comes in with their own manifesto and just takes it, and every other project that were done by the previous government has been abandoned. But what we're going to do is go back and fix those previous projects. It's our money. So we have to refurbish it. If we need to break it down and build it back up, whatever we need to do. For example, look at our state secretariat diminution. Every government comes out and they do the next thing, but those things need to start working. So I think the first step for this is rehabilitation of old and rehabilitation and completion of other projects that were done by previous governments. That has to be done. And then after that, I'm a drummer, and so we are fishermen. And so every time I see them dredging and sun filling, it breaks my heart, because we were blessed with these things in the first place. Yes, we can dredge. We need to dig more, not sun fill more, And so I feel like, we can dredge the seas, make them deeper, get more seafood and fish and all that stuff. Let people go back to fishing. I hear we're still importing fish. That is really sad. Seafood, all these things, we have already been blessed with those things. So these things can come up. Most of the riverine areas don't even have primary health care. They don't have schools. They don't have, if they have schools, it's almost empty. They don't have filling stations. They don't have, there's a lot missing in this other side of the state, and those are things we need to look into. And if allowed to, modular refineries need to start coming up.
Okay, so having said that, let's look at your campaign. How stressful has your campaign been, especially reaching out to people, because you've been talking about the rural areas. So how have you been able to, reach out to these people in the rural areas?
It's hard. It's hard. And unfortunately, the current government is not making it easy for us either, And I think that's something that needs to change. When you become a leader or when you become a head, you are not the head of a certain party. You are head of the state. So you are the father of the state, not just the party.
Okay.
But whenever election comes, you find out that people are considered, oh, it's just my party. When they win the election, it's just my party. When they give appointment, you have to be my party. They are rewarding these people. Those are part of the systems I'm talking about. This thing is supposed to be a state-wide something. When I say, oh, it's going to be all-inclusive, whether you vote for me or not, whether you're in APC, what we are looking for is competent hands to handle certain positions to make this thing work. In fact, the last time I spoke about this, I told them, let's pause politics for a little bit.
Okay.
Let the only political party that exists in Rivers State be the Rivers people. And let's use 4 years to fix the state, get it back to where it's supposed to be. And then we can now play politics. And that's one of the things we're looking at. But about the campaign, it's not been really easy. It's not been easy because the system is already. It's not for the newbies like us. Okay, nobody cares about what you're saying. Nobody cares about what your vision is. What people care about is what they can get, and that's part of the system I'm talking about. You see the same crowd for this party when this other party is holding a rally. The same crowd that goes there. Paid crowds and all that stuff. What are we deceiving? It doesn't make any sense. So I resorted to doing a one-on-one, door-to-door kind of campaign, town hall meetings, and that had been so fruitful for me because I get to understand what their problems are. They get to ask me questions. I get to defend my manifest. Unlike a campaign where you stand and you just talk and there's no response back from the people. At the end of the day, you give them their 1,000 to 2,000 and everybody goes. And this is the mistake we've been doing in choosing our leadership. And this is part of the system again I'm talking about. The things that we need to do differently, or what our challenges are, is we do not have as much money or resources as these other people that have been in this system have, And you find out that people are no longer listening to you. How much do you have? If you're not giving me, then I don't care what you're saying. So people are not seeing the vision. And my message to them is, look, we've suffered for 7 years and a few months. 2 months won't kill anybody. If we can make the right decision, I'm not saying choose me, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying let's leave everything and sit back home. Let the mothers, the parents call their kids. Let's evaluate all the candidates. Let's ask ourselves, what do we want? What do we see in this candidate? Why are we voting for this person? That might help. That might help.
Okay. Actually, my next question is going to be actually it's on your, political rallies. But you just mentioned that you've been having town hall meetings, one-on-one, talking to people.
In fact,
because I wanted
probably,
to know what your experience has been, with the rallies,
Yeah, even with that, okay, I think we had one. We had one, which, for me, it's great to see a bunch of people come out to listen to you, but communication should be a two-way thing. And so it might be working for others, but for me, I don't think that's the best way to campaign. In fact, what we're looking at now is, and I might be coming back here again to say, hey, look, I want to hold my town hall meeting here, where people can call in and say, hey, look, because that's a bigger reach. Everybody's listening in, you present your manifest and all that, and people are coming in to ask you questions about these things. That's what communication really is, And that way they can see the vision, and then we can actually help sensitize these people to say, hey, look, 2,000 naira is not going to take you anywhere. Let's drop the money. Let's drop all the shenanigans. This is the one election we shouldn't be sensitive about. We should be logical about. This is the one election, because why am I saying this? I call it an eclipse in politics. It will not happen again. We may not have this opportunity again. Why am I saying this? Beavers is freaking everybody out. The new electoral law is freaking everybody out. People don't understand how this thing is going to play out. As we speak, no one candidate can come out and say, I beat my chest, I'm going to win real estate. And that is what we want. It's a good thing. It's really a good thing. But if we make the wrong decision today, this election, guess what's going to happen? We are politicians. We're going to go and study the figures. We're going to go and understand this thing and know how to bypass this thing. And once we get that one, it's as good as stealing ballot boxes.
Yeah. So how has your reach out, to the people been? Since you're just having town hall meetings, are you satisfied with how?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so what do you intend to do to be able to reach out to?
Hit the radios, do more town hall meetings on radios, because it has a broader reach. Do more on TVs, put yourself out there. We need to do more. It's never enough. It's never enough until we reach out to the child on the streets, we reach out to the mothers, and we have to reach out to everybody. That's when it's going to be enough. When everybody is heard, everybody has thought about it, everybody understands your vision, then it's enough. Until then, it's not enough.
Okay. Well, my next question is going to be on your assessment of, the present government.
Sure.
You touched a little bit, but would like to know what your thoughts are on how well or badly they have done, in their performance in the states currently.
I must say he started really well. He started really well. The government, well, not really well, but compared to where we're coming from, because most things we think it's privileges just our rights, but the people can't tell the difference between their privileges and their rights. So it's a little messed up for everybody. But yeah, he started okay, but he's finishing really badly.
Why do you say so?
With the whole election thing again. When the 4 years come, they become the governor of a political party, not the state anymore. That's where I have a problem. We must learn to allow a free and fair election every time. Let the people decide. You can't mandate all the LGA chairmen, you must, and that's the system I'm talking about.
Okay.
As soon as you decentralize power, all that rubbish will stop.
Yeah. So in terms of infrastructure, agriculture, health, care, education, do you think they're doing well, or what's your thought?
In my opinion, it's below average. Building a new medical institution does not mean that you've gotten healthcare correctly. Building a new law firm does not mean you're getting your legals correctly. That is the infrastructure. Yes, you built a building. That building should be running on a system. And that's the part that's missing.
And that's the system you're bringing in?
Exactly.
Okay, so would you investigate the current government if you do win the election and sworn in as governor?
I will say wait and find out.
Okay. Well, tell us about your party. Do you think your party has the spread to win a governorship election in your state?
No, we do not.
So how are you going to conquer that?
Because now it's no longer about the party.
Okay.
It's about the candidate.
Okay.
And good thing, and that's the really good thing, because it's breaking the system down. My party is not as big as the PDPs or the APCs, you know. But what it is most of my followers, most of the people that are pledging to vote for me, most of the people that are understanding my vision are not PRP.
Okay.
They are from the PDPs, they are from the APCs, they are from every other political party, which means the people are beginning to be sensitized. They're beginning to say that it's past party. It's about what you can bring to the table. And that's just the start.
Okay. So, we would like to know how much you have spent so far on your campaign. Would you like to tell us?
No, I would not like to tell you that. But I think INEC did well to checkmate this thing. So even as we spend, we write them down.
Okay.
You know, we have records, because yes, INEC is going to request these things at the end. And I applaud them for that innovation, because they need to make sure you're not overspending and where the money is coming from and all that stuff, even though saying it is one thing, actually doing it is another thing. Okay, so when it comes to agriculture, I always say that one of our problems is because we are producing we are consuming more than we are producing, and that is what is affecting the price of things in the market, food stuff and all that stuff. If you turn that table around, it fixes a lot of things. I usually say it's common sense, because if we are producing 300 bags of gari a day, 300,000 bags of gari a day, how much do you think gari will be in the market? We will even start exporting gari. But I think something that I'm going to bring to the table too is to make sure that everybody recognizes River State as the agricultural hub of the nation. Like I said, we're so blessed. Everything grows in River State. Everything. We also have saltwater and freshwater, which means you can actually grow your rice in River State. So all we need to do is mechanize farming, take care of the farmers, build storage system. In fact, if you look at the Bible, it's what the Egyptians did that made them world power. All these things are there. But none of us is looking at it. We look at it, oh, it's old. But yeah, build storage system so that when those things cannot be grown in the field, you still have your grains and the people are never hungry.
Yeah. Well, you find that a lot of people have moved from the rural area to the cities.
Yes.
So who's going to do the farming, and how are you going to achieve that?
Again, that's because we're not decentralizing power. If you decentralize power, then it creates competition between all the LGAs. Okay, because every LGA needs to develop their place now. Okay. It's even sad that in the whole of River State we just have one city, which is Port Harcourt. It is sad, really. And so, but if you decentralize power and make every LGA independent of its own, it's like running through federalism on the state level. And now all the LGAs have their own thing, their own projects, they start developing themselves. Second, what you can do when it comes to agriculture, in my head, for example, growing up, HA has the best guy. Why not all those hectares? I don't know if you've been to HA. Massive land that have not been tapped into. Besides the palm and the oil, they actually have a mass. You go there and plant the cassava, build the factory, mechanize it, they harvest, run it through the system, bring your gari, bring your samvita, bring all those things, and have your storage. You can go to the Ogoni side, if you can go to Buri or Kana or Bukana, let them do yam. Let Eleme handle potatoes. Let Ahoda handle onion and all that. It can work. What I'm trying to say is food shouldn't be a problem in River State. With the kind of soil we have, these things have been tested. And then we have a storage unit, and then we manage these things. It will drive down the price of food, it will increase employment opportunities. When everybody has a job, it will, in fact, the ripple effect it will bring about will affect every walks of life. The ripple effect from just this. Because when everybody has a job, who has time to go steal? When everybody's not hungry, who has the time? You know. So yeah, that's what it is.
Well, I believe most of the LGs, the local governments, have been doing what you've just mentioned here, but probably it's not been enforced properly. So that's where we want you to tell us how you're going to enforce that, because they're doing all that.
No, most of the LGAs are doing what I call the body language of the governor.
Body language, could you explain?
It's really, you're doing what you feel your boss wants you to do. Are they actually listening to the people? If they're actually listening to the people and bringing projects, for you to generate your project, you have to hold a town hall meeting. You need to understand what the people want. It's the same system. It has to come from the people to the government, not you coming up and then at the end of the day, Yeah, your council will sit down and you write that this is what we need, and then you do one road and that's it. It's only in this country that we use billions to build roads, and we claim that we are the poorest. It doesn't make any sense.
So you're going to spend less?
Definitely.
Okay, so you're going to save us some money.
I know that's what that is going to do. When you decentralize power, the local companies comes out to play.
Okay.
And those people can be held responsible, because I know it's your company that is building that school. If there's a mess up, will come to you. You can't keep bringing people from outside to do those things. And then nobody's held responsible, because everybody wants their cut. That's the system I'm talking about.
And thank you, viewers, who've come to the end of the program. Thank you for listening. I hope you've heard all our Honorable has said. Please ask questions, listen to the manifestos, and don't sell your vote. We'll see you again. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We love you. Goodbye.
Maybach music.
Can anybody out there hear me? Hear me?